Hey, what's up guys, TotallyDubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review for the SteelSeries Siberia Elite. So very much intrigued to see how these sound, especially in comparison to the other SteelSeries products I've reviewed. For example, I've got the Wireless H right here, I've also got the 9H over here, and I've also reviewed the Siberia V2. So therefore, the Elite was another piece to the jigsaw puzzle to see where does this exactly fit. So what I'm going to do is give you an overview of what you get in a box. Also, I'm going to give you a little overview of the headphones themselves. And then I'm going to go into recording quality and my overall thoughts about its overall sound quality. So as you can see, the box, as from previous versions, is consistent. Very nice box and very much professional looking. Now in the box you get several things, and what I'm going to do is bring down the camera over here so you guys can see in better detail. So this is what you get in the box. Obviously you get the headset, which has a non-removable cable which is terminated on the left hand side. I'll get on to the build quality and design of the headset in just a little bit. As you can see, the cable is a flat cable, which is quite interesting, and you'll be able to see that it's terminated with a mini USB. So this is also connected to an extension cable which is also provided. The extension cable is an added 2 meters on the top of the 1.2 meters you get on the headphones themselves, and therefore it gives you a nice extension for plugging in the back of your PC. This again is terminated by a mini USB, which is connected to a SteelSeries sound card, which is provided. As you'll be able to see, the sound card has the mini USB connection over here and audio and mic inputs. And this is obviously a USB connection that goes onto your PC. You also get in the box a 3.5mm jack and a dual mic and audio input jacks. So again, these are great because you can actually customize them and put them to different sources. For example, if you've got a sound card, you might want to be using this. If you've got a mobile, you might be wanting to use this. And if you've got a PC, of course, you'd probably want to be using this. So it's great that SteelSeries have provided the option. Finally, you also get a user manual and you get a SteelSeries sticker. So now going on to the build quality of the headphones themselves. The build quality is very solid, and I really like what SteelSeries have done. In fact, out of all the models that I've reviewed, this is potentially the best one in terms of design and build quality. And the reasons are various. First of all, the flat cable is a huge plus when it comes to anti-tangle and nice durability. The pads are nice and thick and are actually very comfortable on the ear. The design of the headphone is really well made, of a metallic kind of design at the edge and a kind of Odyssey-esque suspension headband, which is brilliant for head adjustments. So therefore you're not going to worry about how many clicks you're going to need it on the left and right. Furthermore, expanding on this headband assembly, which is very much like the Siberia V2, is that the build quality over here is much better than Siberia V2. It doesn't feel flimsy in any sort of respect. Of course, there's wires that are going to be hanging out over here. That is kind of natural and normal that you're going to see in any type of headphone, and therefore it's quite nice to see the increased build quality of these headphones over the ones over the Siberia V2s. Now moving on, as you can see, I did mention about the on the left hand side you get the wire which is non-removable, which is quite a shame. It would have been better if it was removable because it would have extended the potential life of the headset. But on the left hand side you can also see that you've got a microphone which is retractable, just like other SteelSeries models. This retractable mic design is really good, and I love if SteelSeries would keep it up because it is a great design to keep. The microphone has a little light over here that is illuminated when the microphone is muted. And you might be thinking, where is the mute button on this wire? Well, it's not on the extension either, it's actually on the headphones themselves. This is to do with a little wheel over here. The wheel might be a little bit hard to see, but it's like a tire-esque looking wheel that can be turned left and right. On the other side, on the right hand side of the headphone, you've got the similar wheel, but this one dictates the volume of the headset, which is brilliant. So therefore you get a great overall build quality from the headset, and you got different functionalities to use directly from the headset, which give it a great overall experience. So top marks for the design and build quality of the headset. I must say it's probably the best SteelSeries headset I've come across in terms of design and build, and in fact one of the best headphones designs that I've actually come across myself. High-end premium headphone, audiophile headphones like Audeze ones have this kind of design, which is really nice to see. But that said, those are £1,000+ pound headphones. This, on the other hand, is about £115. So it's great to see this in this type of a model, and it's much more encouraging to see an improvement over the Siberia V2, its younger brothers. Now let's move on to the actual looks and the sound quality. The reason I'm mentioning looks is because this Siberia Elite can actually be customized with the software, and this comes down to what color you can have in terms of a ring over here. You can customize it with over 16 million colors, as they normally state in the product manual, but I found there's a little bit more limiting than that, as per natural. From my tests. But as you can see, I'm just going to plug it in to my PC, and it's going to start illuminating. And now this is based on the SteelSeries software, which I've customized myself, and you'll be able to see that the colors will be going from a certain loop. So it's very nice to see the actual colors of the headset. That said, the color of the headset doesn't really matter to me personally, and I don't really care that much about the illumination, because at the end of the day, when I put the headset on, I'm not going to see it. But when I get it off, it's always nice to have a little bit of a different look, and something potentially that you might show off to your friends or family when you have it around. So now, without further ado, let me bring you the actual microphone quality. I'm going to record myself, you can be able to see myself talking, and I'm going to be recording via Camtasia with the, this is all going to be connected via the included USB sound card. And here we go, guys. Now I am talking straight from the Siberia Elite directly. So I'm going to also show you the software as well. I'm going to minimize my head to a certain corner, and I'm going to show you the actual software. So you're able to see you've got My Gear and a library, which you can always add your favorite games and your different sort of profiles. But I'm just going to go straight into the software over here and show you the different functionalities. Now the cool thing about live preview is that it allows you to literally preview your changes as you go. Now you're going to be able to hear a certain difference with my mic noise reduction, and as I continue speaking, you'll be able to hear a little bit of a difference. Same goes for the audio mic compression. There's a slight difference when you have it on and off, and it's quite interesting to see the certain differences over there. I feel that both these options are benefited with them on. However, with Dolby headphone, and this is potentially subjective, I felt that the sound quality was greatly reduced with Dolby headphone activated. Equalizer is always great to have, and it's great that you can actually customize it yourself with a custom preset. Mic volume is always useful to have again, and so is the mic slide tone. So whenever you hit the mute button, which again is over here, which is going to go mute now when you're going to see this color come on. And I'm not going to finish speaking, and there you go. So when the mute button is activated, you can adjust that mic slide tone so that you can do it at a certain level. So this is the software in a nutshell. Now, what do I think about the recording quality? Well, the recording quality for me is not that great, especially on the USB sound card. I don't know, for some reason that I could hear a little bit of like clicking noises in the background. I don't know where that came from personally. It could be HDD noise, I'm not too sure, but I did notice that problem. When I connected it up via the included audio jack, and I put it onto the sound card or a little USB sound card that I've got, which I actually use for my Mod Mic 4.0, then it reduced that sort of clipping noise. So that could be down to the sound card, or it could be down to my PC, I'm not sure, but the overall mic quality, regardless of these little problems, was decent, not great, a little bit tinny at times. So overall, I would say the mic quality isn't something I would like to put a recording of myself, potentially doing a live commentary and then putting it on YouTube. But it is, however, something that I wouldn't mind communicating with friends over Skype or in-game. Now, the sound quality is also something that's quite important. Obviously, when you're going to be gaming, it's going to be really important to get a nice, good sound quality. And if you're going to be listening to music as well, it is something, again, that's very important. So the sound quality overall was a little bit hit and miss. The low end tones were actually very good. I quite liked the nice extension, and it reminded me of very young brothers of the Sony XB700s, which had a really nice pronounced bass, potentially one of the best sounding bass canon headphones as they deemed it. Potentially in the industry, at least at the time of when it was released. So I did find the lows to be really good, which is great for explosions. So explosions are not going to sound muffled or anything like that. They're going to really be pronounced. The mid bass was more pronounced than the sub bass, but the sub bass was very much present, and you're able to hear it. The mid bass, the mid range, sorry, was a little bit recessed, and in fact, it felt a bit artificial. I don't know what SteelSeries have really done with it, because previously it was quite good, as the Siberia V2 almost were like younger brothers to AKG K551s. But this, on the other hand, was slightly different. I don't really recommend it for mid-range related things, which is slightly a shame. And similarly with the highs, the high-end tones, for example the cymbal and the trebles, weren't that great. It felt that it was kind of rolled off, and that meant that when I was trying to listen to music, or potentially when I was gaming, I couldn't hear the footsteps as good, and I couldn't hear slight crisper tones in my gameplay. So overall, the sound quality was okay, but not that great. Mid-range, high range was disappointing, but the low end was really good. However, one thing I should note is the soundstage. The soundstage was very, very good. I was very much impressed with it. I quite liked the kind of depth and width that you had of the headphones themselves. This meant that sounds were coming from all different types of direction, and I was able to kind of position them very well. This is great for gaming, and of course great for music, because you're able to hear sounds come from different directions, and therefore instruments being played at different kind of places in your head, if you put it that way. So the soundstage was very good. Overall, this headphone is a decent headphone, especially at £115 price tag. It comes very much affordable for most people out there, be it gamer or someone's going to be listening to music and then potentially gaming on the side. It's not something I would go out and definitely say you gotta get this, it's absolutely brilliant for its price. It is something I would say for its price, it's about the right price for performance. If you're going to want better performance, then I highly suggest getting the H Wireless, which is one of the best wireless headsets best headsets, hands down, that I've ever heard in terms of sound quality and mic quality, in terms of overall as far as headsets go. This, on the other hand, great generally, but the microphone quality and the sound quality let it down slightly. Not by a huge amount, I'm being quite critical at this, but a slight bit. One thing that did confuse me, and something I should mention, is that how the 9H felt that it was came at a higher price tag than the Siberia Elite. Now don't quote me on this, but what I looked on Amazon, this is 115 and the 9H was a little bit over that, about 160, 180 or something like that. So it didn't really make sense to me. The Wireless H, on the other hand, is that extra step up and a bit more expensive, but it comes to show, and that's what you pay for. So overall, decent headset, not something I would definitely go out and buy, but it's something I would recommend if you have a given price tag, a certain budget to spend, then this could be a really good buy for you guys, or for a family member or friend. Anyway guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review, and this has been the Siberia SteelSeries Elite. Alright guys, Totally Dubbed out. Bye bye.